Hello, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Crifu Bernal, and this is episode 13 of The Spear and the Sea. I'm getting Riptide Night. R.I.P. this crew tonight. Was that too much? It's the first time that a title for an episode has occurred to me before I've recorded it. So I hope you're okay with that. I'm Crifu Bernal. I don't know if I remember saying that. Yeah, I think you've been here before. We've all been here before. Let's do this. After a exhilarating day on Bonewrack Island, the crew slept soundly, leveling up and waking up in the morning, getting ready to head towards Riptide Cove. Before we go any further, please, cheers. Clink. Beer in the cup helps us go a long way. I'm going to go ahead and recall my hero deck. We played 2 cards last time. And I think we begin heading out. The crew, instead of following the path laid out to them, begin walking across the sparsely jungulated rocky top of this cliff. And it's early in the morning, I think probably an hour after dawn, maybe. Don't forget, they've been keeping early hours working on the ship, being woken up by the ship's bell every morning. Sweaty upper lip. And I think, they were asleep pretty quickly after it got dark. There was no time, no energy for speaking, talking, conversating. Instead, they searched through the stockade and found what they could and headed out. You'll have to excuse me, my allergies have been piss poor. All the grass is in season here in good old Deutschland, and so my nose, which is not used to any of these allergens and pollens and whatnot, is freaking out. But my eyeliner doesn't look... Well, it looks half bad, but that's not as bad as bad. So we head out. While I'm here, you may notice different artwork here for Haslin and Spear. I finally got the updated versions of their artwork. So you can see the full photos on my social media later at some point, or on the opening and intro and outro screens of this stream. But here's Spear. You can see his purple eyes and his red holy symbol of Besmara. And then here's Haslin. He's got that shitty little smirk. He was quite pale when he first came in, and I was like, no, he's been at sea for 3 weeks. That pale little fucker needs to be somewhat sunburnt at this point, and I think that came out properly well. And then you may also notice on his shoulder the feet of a certain seagull named Hawk. I just love how tough and fat and greedy this little bird looks. He definitely represents some of Haslin's lesser qualities, which Haslin's not afraid to shy away. He doesn't shy away from those qualities in the first place. So, oh God, I'm nervous. I'm procrastinating. Let's get into it. The crew walks. And where am I going? Riptide Cove. You can see I've already populated the map with minions all over, but I'm hoping that sitting on the GM layer, they'll be opaque and not as obvious. So we also need to go ahead and narrow lessen some of these. Each square on this map, you can see right here, equals 10 feet. So we're going to have to go ahead and just make them a little bit smaller. We're going to want all our small people to be the right size. Get back there, Conchabar. Lady goes first. It's really tough. It's not tough per se, but I would bet that Spears had a bit of a tough time being the only medium-sized creature in the bunch. Kind of weird, kind of awkward, honestly. So, yes, we're going to go ahead and put people in squares together because, don't forget, 10 feet. Each square equals 10 feet, so we'll be having people in the same square as combat and melee and stuff like that happens. Oh god, I'm fucking nervous. This is our first dungeon. To take a peek behind the GM screen a little bit, you can see this is a proper dungeon delve. In fact, we've got a situation here between high tide and low tide. Oh god, what is it? I just said it was early morning, right? Well, high tide is in the morning, no? When is high tide? There are 2 tidal bulges every lunar day. Coastal areas experience 2 high tides and 2 low tides. High tides occur 12 hours and 25 minutes apart. It takes 6 hours for the water at the shore to go from high to low or low to high. Yes, so in LA, for example, the next high tide is at 6:57 p.m. So it would be in the morning, and in the evening would be the tides. And that makes sense, because when the moon's out, it would pull the water to the center of the ocean. I'm not a tidal aquanaut. That's not even a word. But we're going to go with it. And we're going to say it's high tide at the moment. And I'm going to go ahead and give our crew some checks on that. Because they're looking around, they can see the ocean, and they can see this cove here. So let's open up. The camera opens. The camera opens. Let me grab some good music. That's not it. The camera opens. Haha, GG. Yes, that is a important distinction here. And I'm hoping that our crew will notice will understand the tides and will notice that they need to go at low tide. However, they may need to wait several hours for that to occur, which is why I wanted to give them some rolls. So the camera opens on our crew, and we can see Spear leading the way. A tall man, broad-shouldered, a large wooden shield on his back, and with 2 spears set into it. Followed shortly behind him is a much shorter person, a silver-haired gnome Haslin, with the tough-looking seagull on his shoulder. Behind those 2, in a row, looking awkwardly at each other, another gnome, Conchabar, and a halfling woman, Rosie. They slept awkwardly near each other last night. Their feelings for one another having changed almost drastically over the last 24 hours. Conchabar, of course, always being interested in her, but coming to realize that his interest has been shallow, almost fake, performative, if you will, and seeing her in action, the way she's reacted over his 2 near deaths at this point, has made him realize that they could have a much stronger connection than he's probably ever had with a woman before. Rosie, on the other hand, is starting to realize that as much as she's hated Conchabar's constant flirting and womanizing towards her, she likes him, and she appreciates the attention and would be really sad to see him go. And so as they get here, let's go ahead and I'm just going to give Spear, since he's got the highest profession sailor check. It literally just a DC 10 on this, and he gets a +7. 19. Okay. Hold up, he says. And let the 3 short, small people stop behind them. They come upon this cove. Let me see if I can pull up the map text. As they come upon these high cliffs surrounding a deep cove churning with dark seawater, Spear looks down and then looks out across the sea. This probably would be a bad time for us to go down. It's high tide. I would imagine that it looks like there might be tunnels down here. And if there were, they would be full of water at this point. And he looks at them, concerned. Well, that shouldn't be a problem. The silver-haired gnome speaks up, clearly still, filling his would-be role of leader. That shouldn't be a problem for us. I've got this potion of water breathing. I'll be all right. But Conchabar says, I do not know about us, Rosie and me, Miss Caswell. We would not be able to breathe underwater, and I hate to say it, but I truly am not the best swimmer around. Yeah, I can't say I'm looking forward to the idea of jumping into dark tunnels filled with water. It sounds pretty fucking terrifying, actually. Yes, like I said, Spear says, kind of looking over at Haslin. We should wait probably a few hours. We can definitely take the time to prepare a bit. No? Haslin looks a little... but he's not stupid. He knows that they should do the right thing. Right. Well, Spear, since you're so good at breathing and swimming underwater and all of that, why don't you go ahead and scout for us or something? I would be hesitant to jump in there, Spear says, without any proper way of getting back. What are you, a scaredy cat or something? Haslin smirks. Hey, Rosie looks at him. We don't need to be going and throwing people's lives away just because you've got some. Well, hold up. Is she? Well, she's got a +5 sense motive. I'm gonna see if she can. When she looks at Haslin, what does she see? 12. Look, Haslin, I know that you want to be the leader and captain and all that, and I get it, but I'm just Spear's the expert here. I almost drowned 2 weeks ago when I was pulled overboard. I'm not looking forward to, like I said, diving into dark holes again. Okay, capiche? Right. Right. So as leader, I say we should take a break. That walk kind of took it out of me anyway. And the rest all kind of nod solemnly. However, in a few hours' time, the tide does go down. And so, yeah, you can see that rather than being 10 feet higher, we've got a good... we've got some good space to work with. And in some of these tunnels, it seems like the crew might be able to actually walk, which is going to be a lot easier to maneuver, all things considered. There might be some issues at a certain point because the water is not as high, but Gigi, like you said, since Spear is the only one who can breathe underwater, we really don't need to be taking any risks. All right. So as the hours pass by, Haslin is going to go ahead and cast Mage Armor. We're going to put that on him. So that'll last for 3 hours now, which should be more than enough time. Yeah, should be more than enough time for him to do this. While I'm here, let me go ahead and pull up the rules for fighting underwater. Underwater combat. Aquatic terrain. Right, so if you've got a swim speed, you're going to be doing normal damage with piercing weapons. With a successful swim check, you're going to be doing normal damage with swim weapons. Your movement speed will be a quarter or half your speed with full round. So that's a problem because our small creatures, they already have lowered movement speeds. Rosie's sitting at 25 feet, and both of the gnomes are sitting at 20 feet. So they're only going to be moving for 5 feet around. Hey, Desi Bell, thank you for hosting the stream. That's awesome. Fellow Pathfinder nerd, what up? Love it. I am playing a solo playthrough of the Skull and Shackles adventure path. This is episode 13, so we've been doing this for like 3 months now. And at first it was really awkward, but it's become pretty fun, especially with our filters changing our faces around and doing different voices and all of that. So thank you very much for the host. I super appreciate it. If you're also interested, if you like what you see here, I'm also a part of a group called Manapot Studios, where we play TTRPGs every week online with friends from around the world. So yeah, you can also see me role playing over there. Thank you so much. So now that the tide has lowered and the sun is high in the sky, it's time to think about our next steps. Haslin, the silver-haired gnome, is peering anxiously over the high cliffs of this cove. Looks like the water's gone down quite a bit. Right, Spear says, looking. Yes, we seem to be at low tide. If we were going to go in, well, we have to go now. So what, do we just jump down, or what? Let me take a look. I don't want any of us hurting ourselves jumping in. Let's double check. Riptide Cove. The cliffs around the cove vary in height from 40 to 80 feet. Spear looks like there are places with with handholds that we could climb down, but the water seems fairly deep. He's got a DC 10 sailor check. He made that already looking down. It looks like there aren't any rocks below the surface. We could dive easily in with the... Aha, they need an acrobatics or a swim check, or they might take some damage. We could easily dive in. However, I don't know how we could get out without climbing. Hey, those Grindylows, they've got to have a different way in and out, right? And he looks over at the other two. I must say, I do not know these Grindylows very well, but if I were a goblinoid type of creature, well, yes, I would have an escape route, something not so obvious. That sounds right to me. I don't know about you guys, but sure, yeah. There's got to be a different way in or out. I mean, if they brought our friends here, they probably didn't jump down into here. I don't know. Well, there's only one way to find out. And Spear takes a few steps back and with a smooth run dives into the surface. He's got a swim speed. He's rolling plus 15 on his swim. So he literally dives like Link in Zorro form straight down into the water. And they all kind of watch and wait for him to pop back up. It's cold, but safe. Rosie and Conchabar both look over at Haslin. Well, leader, why don't you jump next? All right. And he kind of shakes his shoulder, indicating for his familiar Hawk the Seagull to kind of start flying. And Haslin, whose swim is not that great, he's going to go ahead and make an acrobatics check to jump down here. Plus 8. 15. Just enough. So the two of them are in the water. Well, it's just us now. Right. Okay, Conchabar. See you when we get down there. And Rosie smiles at him, hoping to, make him feel like brave, like she is. And he smiles back. And I think the two of them are going to jump together. Let's see. She's going to go ahead and make a swim check. She also unknowingly is wearing the ring of swimming. So she's going to notice as soon as she gets down there how much better her swimming is. Her swimming has also gotten a lot better. She's at a plus 13 now. She is a strong lady, a strong halfling lady. So that's her swim check. 28, hell to the S. And for Conchabar's acrobatics, he's rolling a plus 7. 18. Okay. They are all in the water. Let me double check. The water should be fairly calm. So we're Conchabar and right. Conchabar, the waters are very murky because of the endless tides, with a visibility of 10 feet. That's bad. That is bad. Unless otherwise indicated, swim check DCs are 10 while within the complex. Okay. Okay, well, Rosie comes up immediately and she's like, holy shit, I feel amazing. And Conchabar sees the ring glowing on her hand and goes and kind of grabs her hand and looks at it. Look, the ring on your hand, it's glowing. It must be some sort of magical ring. Well, yeah, we fucking knew it was magic, but what is it, like a ring of swimming or something? Yes, I do not know what else it could be. And as their shouts echo around the cove, Spear puts a finger to his lips. Shh. We do not know if the Grindylows can hear us. But while they're in here, they, unbeknownst to them, tiny holes that pocket the cliffside begin to, out of them begin to emerge tiny red bug-like creatures. Let's see. The Sturges attack anything above the surface of the water that passes below them. Only 4 of them at a time, though. So let's go ahead and I think roll initiative. Are we rolling initiative so quickly? I guess we are. Let me import these Sturges. Have y'all ever played with Sturges before? They are scary freaking creatures. Not like the most powerful, but if you don't deal with them immediately, you start to have problems. We also need to make swim checks for Contrabar and Haslin. They're both sitting at a +5. No, Contrabar's sitting at a +3. Yikes. This is for Contrabar. 16. And Haslin also gets a 16. Very nice. Anything that has bug-like as a description gives the willies. Absolutely. And these are more than just... I mean, these are like oversized mosquitoes, essentially. Okay, so where everyone's swimming, fine. And we're going to go ahead and grab... We only need 4 of them. So let's grab 1, 2, 3, 4 Sturges. Move them to the token layer. And roll initiative. +1 base attack bonus. Yep, that's not. +4 initiative. Yeesh. Uh-oh. Okay. You think I would have my crew's initiative memorized at this point? +6 for Rosie, +2 for Contrabar. And remember, some of our crew is still damaged from the night before. So we gotta be extra careful in here. I think Spear has a +1 and Haslin's got a +4. 4. The bugs rolled super well. That is very true, and most of them are gonna get to go first. Yikes. We're gonna go ahead and put Hawk here in the air, and we're gonna put the you can barely see him now. These tokens are so small. I hate it when maps are 10 feet equals 1 square equals 10 feet. I just, give me 2 maps if that's what you're gonna do, but it makes it a lot harder to use the map for gaming. Yeah, so says the dice gods, unfortunately. And for the most part, we've gone by the dice. I've done some fudging here, but I think that's why I like Pathfinder, is that like the dice and the math, really make what happens, if that makes sense. All right, we need some new music. I quickly grabbed some new songs. Ooh, this is a bit much. A bit too much. Let's go ahead and start off with our pirate song for now. Okay, the Sturges begin to move. They're at different points up in the caves, so the cliffs, so they're gonna start flying. They've got about 40 feet, so we're gonna go 5, 10, 5, 10 here, and they're gonna fly down another 20, 30, 40 feet, but I think this one at least is close enough to get to Contrabar and make a touch attack. It's a good thing. I mean, it doesn't matter that Contrabar's not wearing armor. 18, that hits. So I think as he's holding Rosie's hand, the Sturge comes from behind and just like lands on his shoulder, and he's like, ah! His big purple hat kind of floppy and drenched over his head. It will attach And then, does it do the blood drain immediately? A scourge drains blood at the end of its turn if it's attached to a foe, inflicting 1 point of constitution damage. Yikes. Oh, that's bad. Contrabard does not need this. Holy crap. Conferred ability. Yeah, super bad. I'm using Hero Lab for my to manage all of this, because otherwise I do not know how I would manage it. Ability score, damage. So right now he's at 12 constitution. This is going to bring him down to 11, lowering his hit points. Damn. He's down to 20 hit points. And we're going to go ahead and change that on the top here. The others are going to be start flying as well. This one is quite high up, so it's going to need to go 5, 10 down, 15, 20, another 30, 40 to fly down, and it's going to stop here, close enough to Rosie to attack, but having used most of its movement to get down there. This one as well is a little high up, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, so it moves into place here, and she's starting to look around like, holy shit, what the fuck? Which brings us to Haslin. He's already passed on his... Yeah, Desi, the Hero Lab makes... I mean, it's still tedious to, like, move through, but having all of the stats and being able to, like, put in the conditions and all of that make a huge difference. I'm using Hero Lab Classic, but for Pathfinder 2nd Edition and Starfinder, I use Hero Lab Online, just for my own characters, which makes a world of a difference. What do we do? Okay, so Haslin's gonna move. The problem is, we can only, with a successful swim check, I can only move 5 feet at a time, my non-swim speed characters. But 5 feet is all he needs to get behind Contrabar and take the dagger and stab at the Sturge with it. Okay, go to Haslin. +7 with the dagger. 13, that should hit because the Surge no longer has... oh god, that just barely hits. The Surge no longer has Dex for its AC, so it's considered flat-footed. It hits, and it will hopefully do enough damage to kill it and get it out of here. Oh, 4 points of damage. Just shy of what it needs. Hold on. -4. There we go. It needs 1 more hit point to get out of there, and he stabs at it. And then he shouts. Where am I? Hawk, help us! And Hawk's going to go ahead and fly. Hawk has 60 feet of fly movement, so he can get there easily. Most familiars aren't as active as Hawk is, but he is a fat, mean seagull. And so, he's going to go ahead and slash out with his talons. 11, unfortunately. Well, from here, he's flanking. Flanking adds... How am I forgetting this? Flanking adds +2 to the attack. 12, 13. That hits. And at 1d4, -2 points. He does enough damage. He slashes at the Sturge, pulling it off of Conchabar here, and maybe taking a bite out of it, flapping in place. There you go, Hawk! We've got this! Come on! We go to Conchabar, who's like, oh, holy shit! What are these things? We're getting a little crowded here. Let's go ahead and move that. Let's go ahead and just delete it instead. Shit. Now what? What are these things? Ugh. As the bard, he can make. He can do any knowledge skill untrained. So the Sturges are. What are they exactly? Magical beasts. So this is going to be an Arcana check, and they don't have a high CR, so it shouldn't be that bad. +2. 13. Oh, they're Sturges, he says. They suck blood. Watch out for them. He looks around. He's not that good in combat, honestly. And the real thing is, how do we get out of here? A narrow tunnel runs between the sea and the open cove. So they should be able to see the tunnel here. He looks to the south. Nope. There! We must flee! There could be more of them hiding up above. And I think he's gonna go. He's already made his swim check, so he's gonna move half of his speed and go 5, 10. It's so slow. Spear, however, has a swim speed of I think 30 feet. He can't walk as fast, but he definitely can swim faster than that. Than he can walk. Yeah, 30 feet. So I think he will run. He'll swim up 5, 10, 15, right next to Rosie, and we'll go ahead and attack these Sturges that are just sitting above the water. As he like kicks and does like dolphin kicks and pulls the long spear from his back and like churns upwards, trying to attack. Let's see, he's not alone. Let me turn that off. And we're not going to worry about power attacks because he'll do enough damage to kill these things. He just needs to hit. +6 with the spear. Oh, natural 1. Oh shit, that's not good. I am tempted to use his mythic surge ability to get another attack off. But we're at the beginning of the dungeon. It's too early for that. Dice gods, why? Okay, up to Rosie. She sees him miss, and she considers taking a swing. If she can hit, she'll do enough damage to kill one of them as well. So, we got our 2 fighters up here. They're going to tank for us. 1d20. She's rolling +7 with the hand axe. Hold up. Nope, we're turning power attack off. She's rolling +8 with the hand axe, which is not necessarily going to be enough damage to take it out, but we got a hit. Natural 1. Dice gods! Dice gods! Holy fuck, these things are slippery! She like waves her axe while treading water. Shit. Shit. We got 3 Sturges left. And one hasn't even gone yet. So it's going to move down 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Damn it. Just enough to get within range and make a touch attack against Rosie. I hope so, Desi. I hope we get all the bad rolls out now. Okay, +7 to do a touch attack. It just needs to get a 14 on Rosie. That's not nothing. Natural 1 again for the Sturge! That's 3 natural 1s in a row. What the fuck? It goes to like lunge at her, but she's still in mid-swing with her Masterwork hand axe and just kind of like blocks it with the heft of the axe. However, there are 2 more Sturges here. So this one is in front of her. It's also going to try and attach itself to her. 14, that's enough to do it. And it drains 1 point of Constitution from her. Jeez, Constitution damage. As it like goes onto her shoulder, her clavicle right here, and begins sucking blood. Oh. Okay, that brings her down. She's sitting at a total of 19 hit points now. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So she lost 5 hit points with that. So 17 minus 5. That's not good. That's not good, everyone. That's bad. That's bad. And she's sitting at a 19 total now. Jeez. And this second Sturge is going to attack Spear, who I think has a much lower... It only needs an 11 to hit Spear. 18 most definitely attaches itself to him. And there goes 1 Constitution point from Spear as well. Of course, this is typical Pathfinder bullshit. The dungeon starts off with creatures that give ability score damage. So typical. Constitution. Okay, that's only 5 hit points, so he goes down from 37 to 34. Pretty good. 33 minus 5. Wait, that's not 4 hit points. 5, 6, 7. That's only 3 hit points. Hey, I'll take it. That's not that bad at all. That's not that bad at all. Poor Rosie, though, is in tough shape. Here's Haslin. He's got people in his way. I think him and Conchabar, our 2 gnomes, are literally, they're kind of struggling to keep their heads above water. They're going to keep swimming for the tunnel. So he's going to move half his speed, 5'10". I think Hawk, though, is going to go ahead and fly into place here, and with the flank, attack. Because Hawk is a badass seagull. He don't give a shit. Plus 7, 19. That hits for sure. I mean, 21, actually. 1d4 minus... No, I'm just going to roll 1d2. 2 points of damage. You can't roll 1d2 normally unless you like to flip a coin, but he is hitting those things hard. Oh, absolutely, GG Wow. Thanks for pointing that out. Constitution probably won't be a factor, with an underwater dungeon and holding your breath. Oh, I'm sure it won't be a problem at all. Oh my god. All right, Conchabar. He's going to move 5'10", spend a full round action to continue swimming. In fact, I think I'm going to have him move 5'10" here, so there's a little bit of space. Okay, Spear. Okay, Spear, what do we do here? He's gonna... Spear's a gentleman, first and foremost. He's gonna try and spear the Sturge that's attached to Rosie. So he's rolling a +6 here. The Sturges, they're flat-footed, so it's an AC 12 for them. 13, that is enough for him to hit. And I'm pretty sure he's going to kill it. 1d8 plus 4 points of damage. Yeah, that's going to kill it. They only have 5 hit points. For 10 points of damage. He literally, gingerly, spears through and just flicks it off of her. You can see the imprint on her clavicle where it had sucked the blood in, and it lands into the water and sinks below. I think what he's going to do next, though, is while this thing is attached to him, he's going to dive underwater. We're going to need a symbol for... We have a symbol for flying. We need a symbol for swimming. What about... This looks overdrive. I kind of like that. It looks like a whirlpool, sort of. So this thing's on him, and he just goes underwater. The Sturge is going to have to hold its breath, but who knows? Maybe it'll panic? I don't know. Rosie, on the other hand... there's still one more Sturge here that's trying to get at her, so... I think she's going to do it. She's a foolish, brave, strong halfling. So I think she's going to go for it. She has an 8 wisdom. Yeah, she's going to go for it. And we're actually going to turn on power attack, so we'll make sure that if we hit, it dies. 1d20 plus 7. Come on, Rosie. 13 is not enough while it's flying, unfortunately. God damn it, she says as she swings her hand axe. And that's going to give that Sturge another chance to attach. If this lands, it lands. Holy shit. She loses another point of Constitution. Hold on. What was she at before? What's her Constitution normally? Oh, she has a 10 con. So she goes down to a 8. Luckily, that doesn't lower her Constitution anymore, but she is in danger of it. This Sturge here is now 30 feet underwater. Spear just like did this motion and went down. And these things cannot breathe underwater, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a wisdom check. If it passes, it's going to detach and begin making its way up. We're going to give it a DC 10 wisdom check. It only gets a +1 on this, so it's a 50-50. 6. It fails. I know Rosie is going to need a nap. I'm worried because I don't know if Conchabar and Rosie will get out of this dungeon alive. Excuse me. Beer drinking. So that Sturge just stays clamped on underwater, too obsessed with the blood that it's taking. And that's another point of Constitution from Spear. Shit. Spear was sitting at a 15. So actually, 14 wouldn't have lowered his con. So now it goes down. Right, now it goes down. And he loses the, wait. Yeah, he went from 15 to 14, and now from 14 to 13, he loses the hit points that we initially calculated. Okay, Spear's actually doing pretty well, all things considered. Haslin is gonna keep swimming. 5, 10. Yeah, he's there, just inside. This one's attached. Yeah. To the front. Attached to Rosie. So, Hawk, you brilliant fucking bastard. I hate this map. It could be much better. Hawk's gonna come around and at least try to help Rosie. +7. He hits. 1d2 for 1 point of damage. That's something. It's not nothing. Conchabar looks back, worried. He's gonna go ahead. He's gonna pull out his short bow, just kind of treading water. Can you imagine trying to shoot a short bow while treading water? It's a good thing we're not adventurers, because that would be hard as hell. He's gonna move 5 feet here to try and get a clear shot. He just needs to get, what was it, a 12? Yeah, that's not great. He's rolling +5 on this. +5. 17, it hits for 1d4 damage. 4 points of damage. His arrow strikes into the Sturge, knocking it down to 0 hit points. Unfortunately, as we saw in the last 2 sessions, 0 is not dead. 0 is staggered. 0 is disabled. The thing is still attached. However, it probably isn't going to want to stay attached, knowing how close to death it might be. Spear's underwater, struggling with this thing. I think he literally takes the spear and begins to try and pry it off of him. 25, that's enough. 1d8 plus, what was it, 4 points of damage? Minimum damage is a 5. He pulls the thing off of him, and it goes into the water and begins to drown. I think then he's gonna jet. Is he? No, he's gonna come straight back up 30 feet because he can see Rosie. No, he can't. The water's murky. Oh, so he's gonna come back up because he does not know what's going on, and he sees Rosie still struggling with this. I almost got it, she says. Come on, Rosie. Natural 1. Holy shit. She takes the axe and, tries to pry it off, but, she's feeling weak from all the blood loss. The Sturge, however, is definitely going to detach and begin to try and fly away. That's going to give Rosie an attack of opportunity. 25. Finally, she hits. It's enough to kill it. We know that. But I always like to roll damage. Who doesn't like to roll damage? 9 points of damage. As it begins to fly away, she swings wildly one last time, destroying the Sturge. Jesus. And the crew swims back. Not wanting to deal with this. Holy shit. I'm sweating. It's also warm in my room, and I've tried to turn the fan down so it's not super loud. That's not the right song. This is. Rosie swims over. Guys, I'm not fucking feeling so fucking good. Miss Caswell, let me try and heal you. At least a little something, as they're kind of treading water. And in fact, let's see. Let's double check. Let me clear initiative here. D3? What room is D3? Over here. So at low tide, they're probably able to come into the tunnels here and are probably able to stand. So we're going to move everyone a little bit, just a little bit there, so that they can get some solid ground to stand on. Oh, geez. Oop. Can't see me anymore. Okay. Let's go ahead and remove this Sturge. Like I said, it's just fucking typical from Pathfinder to throw this on, make it that much harder for our crew who has to try and potentially breathe underwater at points during this dungeon. But Contrabar is going to go ahead and hum a soft song. Let me spend. Oh, I only have 6 arrows left. Great. Just fucking great. Okay. My stuffy nose. He hums a soft song. Maybe something similar to what we're hearing now. We'll cast Cure Light Wounds. And we'll heal her for 6 points. Good. She was missing those points anyway before we even came into this combat, so it was probably good that she got it. And she nods. Thanks, Contrabar. Of course, milady. It is nothing. And the two of them look at each other with genuine gratitude. I'm glad you're here. I must admit, I would not be half as brave as I were right now if you were not here, Mistress Caswell. All right, Haslan says as he's in the front of the line. If you two are done flirting back there... Yep, that's not Australian. It's going. I'm doing 4 different accents. If you two are done flirting back there, Spear, what do you think? It's kind of dark, but not completely dark. Not as dark as we thought it might be. Right. Yes. I think we're in dim conditions. The ocean churns in this narrow space. So while they're standing and like kind of holding themselves on the wall, they're gonna need DC 15 swim checks to traverse. Anyone who fails the swim check might take damage. The camera like pans along the wet, glistening tunnel. And we can see the walls of bladed stone have been scraped and appear like kind of sharp and glinting, appear as if they were deliberately sharpened. Oh, wait. Is this the right? No, that's D2, which is over here. Ah! Okay, good. Actually, no. So there are these Grindylows here. Did they hear all of that shouting? Did these Grindylows over here hear all of that shouting? I'm bad when it comes to dungeons because I believe in the ecosystem, and I always give my enemies like perception checks to hear what's coming, essentially. I can be a mean dungeon master when it comes to dungeons specifically. Oh, my nose is so stuffed. Let's see. These Grindylows, I'm going to go ahead and pull up a Grindylow out of here. What's their perception? They got a +4 perception. So because of the adjusted for distance and objects, that's a fair point. Let's check the perception rules. Perception. And I'll go ahead and turn that on so you can see what I'm looking at, maybe. It's not the best, but it's something. Okay, so the sound of battle is immediately going to bring it down to a -10 perception check. However, the fact that the water is constantly churning through this space, it's going to modify it. I'm going to call those terrible conditions. Because conditions were bad, we added a +5. We're also going to add a wall, +10 for each foot of thickness. And so this is at least 5 feet. Right? This is half of a 10-foot square. +10 for each foot, so +50. They didn't hear the fight. These 4 did not hear the fight. Now these 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Did they hear the fight? We're looking at 10 +5, so we're at -5. 5, 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. That's plus, we're looking at +3 at DC3. And then we've got at least a little bit of a wall. That's 10 feet. So 13. I'm going to set this at DC 15. But I'm going to make 2 perception checks. So I'm going to give the group, essentially, perception with advantage. DC 15. To see if they heard the fight. There's also this group up here. 5, 10, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So we're going to make 2 sets of perception checks. Because we've got 2 large groups of Grindylows here to see if they heard it. So I'm going to go ahead and roll 2d20. This first check is for the group below. They get +4 to this. DC 15. 9 and 12, they heard it. 13, 14, 15, 16. This group heard the fight. I'm gonna roll 2d20 again for the group above. 13 and 6. They heard it. So both of these groups are aware that people have entered Riptide Cove. Ah, shit. It's time to open another beer. Oh. I haven't even finished the last one, but I need to refill this. I mean, look, these Grindylows, they have 5 hit points apiece. But they've got the advantage here. D3, for example, most of that space is about 10 feet deep at low tide. And D7 is even deeper. It's about 20 feet deep, this portion over here. So they've got a lot of advantage. However, Haslin has a water-breathing potion. And not only that, but Haslin learned the spell Air Bubble. How long does Air Bubble last? 1 minute per level. It only lasts for 3 minutes. No more ones. Let's hope so. Please, no more ones. So, Spear nods, his purple eyes adjusting to the dimness of the cave. Let's see. Actually, let's double check everyone's. Can our gnomes have low light vision? Our Azarketi. Spear is a Gilman in first edition. In second edition, they're referred to as Azarketi. He cannot see in the dark. Oh, yeesh. So let me double check that this. Yep. Let me double check because I'm pretty sure he's going to be rolling with concealment in certain parts of this place. Riptide Cove. Tunnels are mostly free of water. There's the Lake of Hooks. There's Riptide. There's seaweed. The DC of all acrobatics checks made to walk on such surfaces on all cavern floors. So they're gonna, if they're walking, they're making acrobatics checks. Holy crap. It doesn't say anything about darkness, though. So I can't quite imagine. Usually this stuff is pretty good about saying, if it's dark or what, if they need. But we're going to combat that anyway. We're just going to go ahead and... Gosh, does anyone know the spell Light? Spear knows it. Okay. They are underground, GG wow, dim light. So I would definitely say it's dim light. Hey Retro, good evening, how are you? We had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but we're here now continuing actually properly beginning our dungeon delve of Riptide Cove. We've got 2 groups of Grindylows. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're looking at 16 Grindylows, aquatic goblinoids, who are fully aware that our party here has entered Riptide Cove. So, Spear nods. No, I don't mind going ahead. And he kind of moves forward. He's going to switch from the long spear to the short spear and shield. And before he draws his short spear, he grasps at Besmara's amulet, the holy symbol of the pirate queen herself. And as he murmurs a prayer to her, he touches he holds the holy symbol, and it begins to shine with light around him. So he's got some light going, so he's going to be good. As is Rosie. Rosie cannot see in dimness either. So I think we need to put an aura around him. Just to show, it's rolling with torchlight. So I think that's a good 20 feet of bright light. So even if they didn't hear the battle, they're going to see him coming. Let's see if I can change that tint a little bit. That's a little bit better. Well, shit. Okay, so he doesn't need to make any swim checks. He, well, and it's this part that has the swim checks necessary. So they begin moving forward. Hold up, Haslin says, as he's like doggy paddling after him in certain parts. Don't you think that bright light is a bit obvious? The light is, but the light is necessary, Haslin, Spear says to him. I cannot see properly down here, and neither can Rosie, as she's like breaststroking her way over. Followed by Contrabar, and of course, our dude. I'll go ahead and take this off. We're going to assume he's flying. Hawk from behind. We cannot see, so if they see us coming, Haslin says, Spear says, then I will do my best to keep us safe. But otherwise, we must continue like this. Haslin shrugs. All right, I mean, it's your death sentence. And Contrabar and Rosie immediately are like, hey, don't fucking talk like that down here, okay? Yes, I must agree. It would be, how they say, jinxing us for you to speak like that. Christ, all right. Let's just keep moving. They move up to here. Moving slowly, swimming, walking when they need to. I mean, technically we can share squares, so he should be a little bit... He probably needs to be a little bit smaller. No, they're the right size. Now, this Grindilo is directly within line of sight of the water, of the light, essentially. It's within the light now. So we're going to go ahead and give it a stealth check. See if it moved out of the way when it saw the light coming. What's going on exactly? If the Grindilos are waiting, or if they're going to just go ahead. It's getting a plus 14 to stealth. Oh, Jesus. That's a natural 20. Oh, the dice are against me today. 34, none of my crew. The squares are 10 feet. Yes. So, even with the... the light is too much. Thank you. There we go. That makes a lot more sense. Yes. Pour the beer. Typical pirate attitude. Things are getting too dangerous. Drink some more. Spear looks around. His shield up. His short spear in the other hand. Which way should we go now? Haslin, what do you think? Me? Why are you asking me? He says, like, bringing his voice down all of a sudden. Well, you are the leader, the captain of this crew, no? Right. Fuck, why did I volunteer for that shit? I don't know. Should we flip a coin? We're gonna go ahead and ask the dice gods. In this case, we're using the motif emulation system. It's called the Oracle system, in which we roll 2 dice, usually asking yes or no questions. In this case, the question will be, does the crew go right, south? So if we get a yes, they'll go south. If we get a no, they go north. In addition, we're gonna roll 2d6. In addition, we're gonna draw a hero card to start flavoring this situation a little bit. All right, 2 and a 3. Let's see. Motif. A 2. No, they do not go south. They go north. And a 3 is mundane, cheap, or barely passable. So this flavor card that we pull won't be too much of an effect, but it'll be a mundane effect on what's happening. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle. The Locksmith. The Locksmith is a lawful neutral card of dexterity. Interesting. Let's go ahead and look up the Locksmith. Are you the Keymaster? This week's hero card, the Locksmith, is the person with keys to every door. The Locksmith themselves is dressed in a form disguising cloak and hood. He is, for lack of a better term, a mercenary of sorts. While the aim of the Locksmith is to help, they only do exactly what has been asked of them and nothing more. Likewise, they would offer the same type of help to anyone else who employed them. But the Locksmith holds the keys to any lock you may come across, whether that's a door, a treasure chest, or a set of manacles. And when it appears in a spread, it often indicates someone or something has the key to whatever is blocking our path. Sometimes the Locksmith can even be ourselves, a reminder that we often hold our own set of mental, emotional, and psychic keys. Interesting. So they don't go, we know the answer is that they go north. But why? Right, I'm gonna keep it there. I'm gonna think about this. Right, we go forward. The Grindylows. I'm gonna go ahead and pull them all into the token overlay, the token layer. We know that for the most part they're hidden, especially in this murky water. So they're gonna stick to the sides here. And this group, they're all gonna start moving forward. This one's gonna swim around. Seems about right to me. And the crew is going to move forward. Now we have this square here, which the Locksmith might help actually in this case, because it is a trap of sorts. These dark squares represent. This is one of my favorite things about the solo stream, is that we get to, rarely in actual plays does the GM get to talk with the viewers about what's actually happening in the dungeon and in the text as written. So these dark squares specifically are called Lake of Hooks. What happens when so in various locations throughout their lair, the Grindylows have rigged up floating hooks in the seaweed. These cruelly barbed hooks are attached to pieces of cork by thin, strong sinews and float between 1 and 3 feet from the floor. While they deal no damage, the hooks grab the clothing and armor of those passing through them. When entering such an area on foot or by swimming through the seaweed, the PCs must make a DC 10 reflex save or be snagged by the hooks and become entangled. Entangled is tough. They're essentially grappled in that case. I'm going to go ahead and first and foremost have Haslin pop his potion of breathe water. So he's going to go ahead and pop that, and he's going to be able to breathe water for the next several hours, more than what he needs. And I think the only way to avoid the hooks is to swim above them or clear them from an area. So for the most part, they're 1 to 3 feet off of the floor, so they can't be the water. But the water here is actually, well, actually, yeah, the water here is pretty deep. So they're all on this lower level. So nothing actually happens with these hooks. Huh. That doesn't seem right as they move through this space. That doesn't seem right at all, actually. But the locksmith is at play here. And so I think it's going to work. And if anything, I'm going to give Spear a free perception check to see them. He can breathe underwater. Maybe he's going underwater, especially when it gets deep. Let's see. Perception +5. It's murky. So we're going to call this a DC 10 perception check. Natural 1. As he's swimming, he might get caught by them. He needs to make a reflex save. A 12. For these lakes, he needs a DC 10 reflex. He barely avoids the hooks and comes up. He's right here. And as he looks back, he says, "Hey, watch out, there are hooks here. Stay up on the surface." And that's when the Grindylows attack. So we're going to go ahead and turn on some fighting music. As we start to hear the goblins gnashing, the Grindylows. Ah, shit, this is freaky. Okay. Haslin's got a +4. Rosie's got a +6, and Conchabar is a +2. +2. And the Grindylows all have a +2 initiative. So we're gonna roll 8 fucking initiatives here. Okay. All right. Unfortunately, the crew is surprised. Yeah, they're definitely surprised. Absolutely. So we're gonna start with the surprise round. The Grindylows begin to move into place. They have a swim speed of 30 feet. Don't forget, in surprise rounds, you can either make a move action or a standard action. So 5, 10, 15, let's say 20, 25, 30 to here. Next. 5, 10, 15, right up to Spear. Skip Conchabar to continue the surprise round. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And we're here. 5. No, we're going to go around. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. They are fast. These goblins, they are goblinoid from the waist up, but underneath they have octopus tentacles, and so they're pushing themselves through the water, grabbing onto the side of the rocks, and kind of pulling themselves and darting forward even further. This one's next. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It's going to stop there. Skip Rosine's spear and move on to these. Oh, back here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Ooh. And then here. 5, 10, 15. It's just going to move past 25, 30. He doesn't get an attack of opportunity because he hasn't acted yet. And then the last one, super slow. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Right there. Oh shit! Crikeys! Haslin cries out as he sees these goblins all filling the space around them. Yikes. And this one like pops up in the water right there above him. What's he gonna do? What are you gonna do, Haslin? He's gonna move forward. That swim check's still in play. He passed it a long time ago. I'm not gonna make him re-roll it because I don't want him to start sinking. And he's able to move 5 feet as his movement, and then literally move forward and try and stab at the thing, the Grindylow. Come on, Haslin. With his masterwork dagger. 16. They have an AC of 15. Perfect. That's going to hit. 1d3 plus 3 for 4 points of damage. He has dealt with these things before when they attacked the man's promise. And so he has no fear at all as he comes up. He's been waiting for this. Oh, I've been waiting for you. And he goes and he stabs it in the shoulder, pulling his bloody dagger out. And the brackish water quickly wipes the blood clean. These here, though, are going to 5, 10, move straight into this space. Unfortunately, Spear might be getting flanked relatively soon. I kind of want to turn that goblin music like on repeat. I'll turn it down just a little bit so it's not so prevalent. Excuse me. Too much beer, hiccups. They've got spears. They're only rolling +2 on the spears. Could be worse. They also have tangling tentacles. It can make a single trip attack against any adjacent foe, causing it to start sinking. It might start with that. If it can trip a spear to like sink down into the water, he might get grabbed by the hooks because of where he's at. So we're looking at a +0 to trip. That's not great. That doesn't sound right. +4 to trip. Okay. Oh, that's a 20. That's definitely going to succeed. And its tentacles reach up, grabbing and intertwining with Spear's legs that are treading water, causing him to sink underneath the water. I think he's only going to go down 5 feet, though. So unfortunately, not high enough. We'll call it high enough for him to need to make a reflex save to avoid becoming entangled again. 23. He's not entangled. Easy. He already knows where these things are, and he's breathing underwater, so he's not terribly worried about what's happening. This thing is going to go ahead and move 5 feet down and attack with its spear, getting a +2 on the attack, so that's a +4 total. 21! That hits. Holy shit. Holy shit. 1d6 +1 damage. 2 points of damage. Not the worst, but enough. And if these things surround, Conchabar is going to move 5 feet closer. As he moves, he's going to start a bardic performance, I think. What does he do? What is Contrabar's bardic performance in this case? I'll have to come up with it later. I don't know what it is. He sang No Je ne regrette a while ago, but I can't call on that every time. So he starts singing like a gnomish war ballad that speaks about taking down one's foes. And his voice begins to echo around the cavern. Okay, this one's moving in 5, 10, enough to get to Spear, and it's gonna it's now in the water with him. So let's go ahead and put 5 feet on these guys as well. 1d20 plus 2, 8. He's able to kind of turn and twist in the water and avoid the attack easily enough. Now these are coming 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 over here to Haslin. And it's going to start with a trip attack. 6. That's a miss. Haslin they've tried to trip him before the last time he fought these things. And so he's able to kind of kick himself above water as the tentacles reach out to grab at him. And following behind, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, right here next to Spear. It's going to go into the water to be level with him. And we'll make a similar spear attack. 4. Nope. This murkiness. Anything. Yeah, the murkiness is really just going to prevent ranged attacks underwater. Okay, Rosie's like, holy shit. She's got her crossbow drawn, so she just needs to swim 5 feet, and she's within range of this one here. Her crossbow, her hand axe. What the fuck else is she pulling out but her hand axe? In play, I'm going to turn off power attack just because of how wounded this one is. So she's rolling a +8 on this. Come on, Rosie. 24. Easy. Easy, GG, easy. 1d4 plus 3. 6 points of damage, and that Grindilo is down. Nice. Okay. I'm just going to... Well, I don't want to delete them. Hold on. I don't think they have anything of real interest on them anyway. They've got spears. I'm going to delete them for favor of cleaning up the map. And it removes them from the initiative as well. So she comes up and just axes it in the head, pulls out her axe, and it sinks under the water. The 2 gnomes look at her appreciatively. Actually, that should have been 25 and a 7 because of Bardic, of Inspire Courage. Spears underwater. Here's a question. Can you hear Inspire Courage from underwater? Does that affect work? I'm going to rule it does. He's not terribly deep underwater. He's just 5 feet under the surface. So he can hear it for now. He's surrounded, though. So he's got 2 on either side of him. This one is also underwater. So he's going to start off... Yeah, whale song. Absolutely, GG. Thank you for that. Spear also has the mythic trait of battle alone. A desperate battler. And so when he's alone, he actually gets a bonus to his attack and damage rolls. Thank goodness. Short spear and shield. So he's going to start off with a power attack. No, he's not power attacking. He doesn't need to. He can potentially wipe these things out with the right. So he's going to start off with this one here who is flanking him. +7. 16. That just hits. They have a 15 AC. So he's rolling 1d6 plus 4. For 7 points of damage as he stabs into it. It sinks into the ground and dies. He's also going to use his first mythic power ability for the day to do a sudden attack, and he swings in the water. He couldn't have cleaved there if he wanted to, and he's going to go for the one in front of him right here. And this is actually, he's going to roll with advantage. Oh, +9 because of the Inspire Courage. 27, that hits. So +1 from Inspire Courage. 11 points of damage. Hell yes. And dead. Okay, look at that. Look at that. I mean, it helps that we have mythic and gestalt characters in here. That makes a big difference. And I don't think any of these creatures have been particularly boosted. Some of the later creatures have definitely been boosted. The Grindilo curses as it sees its comrades fall, and is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20. No, it's going to move here and be 5 feet underwater, so that it can get that flank. +4. 15. With his shield up, he's got an 18 AC. That's definitely not going to hit. And this one here is moving in 5, 10, right here. We'll stay up up on the water since it doesn't need to go down for the flank. And that's a 20. That'll hit. 26 plus... What are they rolling? +2? +1. For 4 points of damage. Ugh. This gets Spear right in the chest as it pulls out. His kind of trying to keep himself where he's at in the water. Luckily, he has that swim speed. Otherwise, he would be fucked. We're on to Haslin. Oops, are we? Yeah. Okay, this is round 3. This one moved straight up to him and tried to trip him. And so he's just going to go ahead and attack with his dagger. He's got it drawn. +7. 22, that hits. Hell yeah. You know, with level 3 Rogue, Haslin has suddenly become a efficient melee combatant. It makes Unchained Rogue really makes a difference. That's going to be 4 points of damage. Not quite enough. But we're going to have flying into range is frickin' Hawk, the Seagull, and that's going to hit for a 16, doing 2 points of damage. Yes. Okay, this is a world of a difference from the last combat that we had. These Grindylos are falling like nobody's fucking business as this one sinks underwater and begins to die. Right on ya, Huck. Good job, Haslin cries out. This one's gonna move. Interesting. It can't really move any further. Honestly, Spear should be making... These three should all be making reflex saves to... No, these two should be making reflex saves to avoid those entanglement conditions. So this one's for Spear at the end of his last turn. Natural 20, most def. This Grindylo, because of the sea of hooks, the lake of hooks, is rolling a +2 on its reflex, and is entangled in its own hook. Sucks to be you, buddy. This one here, let's see. Grindylos, they don't have a great wisdom. At a certain point, they know that they need to, there's protocol. And this is why I'm an asshole in dungeons, because there is protocol. Monsters, there's an ecology and an environment, and they know well enough. So DC 10 if it disengages and goes to alert the rest of the dungeon. 11. It takes a 5-foot step back and begins swimming away. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. Contrabar is going to cease his song. He doesn't need to spend another round on that, especially because we're going to need it later. Yeah. The problem is he's going to move 5-10 feet full round. He can't move very far at all while swimming. We're on this Grindylow who is entangled, which is going to apply some conditions. -2 on all attack rolls and a -4 penalty. So it's actually going to try and disentangle itself. DC 10 Escape Artist. It's a +2 on it. Good luck, buddy. Natural 1. This Grindylow is just struggling with the hook that's got it. Rosie's going to move 5 feet forward. Luckily, Hawk is flying here, so she can move into that space. And she's on the surface here because she can move a full round, so 10 feet there. Still not great, but now we're on to Spear, who is flanked, all things considered. So he's going to start with the one on his right. No, he's going to start with the entangled one. Because its entanglement is bringing its AC down. It has a -4 penalty to Dex, which means it's lost 2 to its AC. However, Rosie moved right next to him, so he's no longer alone, which means he's not. He loses that +1 to attack and damage. It's hard. You don't want to be alone, but sometimes he wants to be alone. He's kind of a loner. +6. 24. Hell to the S. 1d6 +4 for 8 points of damage. This one dies on the hook. Very much like in DBD. I've been playing a lot of that game. Dies on hook. We're going to save Spear's mythic abilities. This isn't good. This isn't good. Spear just literally killed all of these Grindylows, and these Grindylows aren't terribly stupid. Well, hold on. Let me double check. They're not terribly stupid. They're a little stupid. So DC 10 to think if it should flee. It does not flee, and it's going to go for the attack against Spear. Just try and kill it as much as possible. 5. Spear is easily able to dodge, although he does need to make... Does he? I'm going to have him swim back up to the surface so that he can start avoiding those hooks. And this one also swims up to the surface. And the same goes for this Grindylow. DC 10 Wisdom check. It knows it's going to start fleeing. Disengage, 5-foot step. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Haslin's here. 5-foot step forward. I'm going to turn off the goblin noises because we've got so few of them left in here. Back to this Grindylow. It continues to move. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Nope, it's not that one's turn. And we're up to Contrabar, who really cannot move very far at all, just kind of doggy paddling to keep up with the rest of the crew. But Rosie is here. She's going to move forward 5 feet and attack with her Masterwork hand axe. Go, Rosie, you freaking badass. She died. I would be so sad. When she was the one I rolled randomly for when someone falls overboard during the first storm a few weeks ago. And when it was her that fell overboard, I was so scared. It was looking terribly, terribly bad for a minute there that we were going to lose her because she had become my favorite NPC. Plus, I love fighters. We need more fighters. So she's rolling +8 on this attack. Should I turn on power attack? No. 18, that hits. For 6 points of damage, we did not need power attack. And the axe goes straight into the Grindylows shoulder and kills it as it falls down into the water. Off. Okay. We do need more clerics. Luckily, we've got a bard, and Spear, don't forget, is also an oracle. So he's got that wand of healing that has about 10 charges left, and he can also cast Cure Wounds. So the problem is our cleric, Sandara, was one of the pirate crew members who were kidnapped by these fuckers. So we'll get her back soon enough. Ugh, I miss having a cleric, though. Okay. Everyone all right? Spear turns around to look as he realizes, oh, I was the only one who took damage. All right, okay. We've got the few, those other Grindylows, 2 of them escaped. We can assume that they are going to warn the rest. Hiccups. And indeed, we'll probably see these Grindylows. I'm going to put them here with the devilfish. Oops. Spoiler alert. I feel like this is a good spot for them to wait, especially because this is where the boss is. Just letting y'all know. Okay, forward then. As they swim over the Lake of Hooks, let me just double check that there's nothing of import here in D7. The gullet. They look around. This cavern has been carved to resemble the interior of some giant sea creature, its ribs towering over and around the chamber. Seaweed on the floor of this chamber is 5 feet deep. Oh, there were tactics I should have been reading. Whoops. Yeah, they regroup for another attack. Okay, that makes sense. That makes absolute sense. They attack as few targets as possible and regroup for another attack. 100%. Oh, they have a jet ability. What? Where? I don't see it on here. Interesting. We could look around. This chamber is a bit uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. It's almost as if, Contrabar looking around at the ceiling, as if we have entered the gullet of some sort of great sea creature. Ugh, Ooh, and then he like looks around and he can see lining the walls as Spear's torch kind of like hits the walls. He can see these smaller skeletal fetishes set up like right above the water line. I'm gonna give him a perception check. Contrabar. Oh, my stuffy nose. Yeah, he's rolling a +7, so we're gonna set this. There isn't an actual DC, so we're only gonna set it to a 10. And that's a 21. Absolutely. Hold up. What is that? As it goes to... He like slowly swims over here. Jet 200 feet? Holy shit, GG Wow. Thank you for that info. That really should be on here, Hero Lab. That's super important info. So they got away like no one's business. But what is this? As he goes over, he sees a scrimshod hammerhead shark skull with a piece of driftwood through it. This skull looks as if it might be worth something. Let me roll a quick and appraise check. Yes, this skull would definitely be worth something. But hold up, this driftwood, it's not just driftwood, it looks as if to be a wand of sorts. And I'm going to go ahead and give him advantage on the spellcraft check. Because he already has this wand in his hand. 17. Oh, this wand is just like the wand I have. A wand of mirror image. Nice. Good for him. Look, there's other things in here too. Oh, right. And I'm gonna give Haslin and Rosie perception checks as well, as they start examining all of the skeletal fetishes set up. Good old Nethys, hell yeah, of course. Let's see. Rosie's got a +1, not great. 8. Oh, I don't find anything. But Haslin has a +9, especially with Hawk right there and within arm's reach, 26. So he finds a scrimshod map of the Shackles worth 400. Scrimshaw is like a type of bone, I think. It's an ivory walrus tusk set with gold and with a scrimshod map of the Shackles. Oh, whoa. Well, how did these... They must have... Haslin thinks for a minute. These Grindylows must have looted that cellist ship that Gast was talking about last night. It's amazing the stuff that they've found in here. And I'm going to give Spear a perception check because there is one more item that Rosie failed to get. So Spear fails this perception check. We're looking at, it's just a DC 10. He gets it. He picks up a harp, a curious harp made from the jaw of an orca set with pearls. Damn, these are all worth. All in all, they've found about 1,000 gold pieces, 1,000 gold worth pieces in here. Right. Well, we've made quite a steal here. Yes, Spear says, but as Mara may be rewarding us with this plunder from killing our enemies, Spear says, but we came here for one more important reason. We must find Sandara and Cog, and we must find them alive. Don't forget, Contrabar says, if we do not return to the man's promise tomorrow morning, oh my stuffy nose, Mr. Plug will apparently sail without us. I don't fucking know about that. You think they're really going to set sail with no water? No, they need us to come back. And we left those barrels on shore. And we have the only boat that can fucking leave. So, no, they're not going anywhere without that water. We can take as long as we need. I hate to agree with Conchabar in normal times. Conchabar throws Spear a glare. But Mr. Plug and Master Scourge do not strike me as the most wise of men. With or without the water, I do believe that they would leave us here. And we have no other way of finding our way back to the mainland or anywhere else. And the four of them clinging to the sides of the cave in the gullet here in Riptide Cove grow somber, realizing that the clock is ticking and the pressure is on. Okay, that is where we're going to end today's stream. Thank you for bearing with me and the technical difficulties we had today. If you're on YouTube, I carefully edited those parts out, so good for you. Let's go ahead and, if you don't mind, I love to raid people. Wow, my nose really got stuffed up here at the end, didn't it? So if you're here in chat and you're lurking, if you wouldn't mind pulling up the tab and popping in for the raid, I'd love to see you here. I'm going to try and find another Pathfinder group to raid on this lovely Saturday. There are a few other Pathfinder groups. Let's see. Looking for someone. Era das Sinas. They're playing in English. What is that? It says they're playing in English, but the title looks like it's in Spanish. Hold on, let me double check. GG Wow, thank you for being here. I always appreciate your advice and you remembering stuff. That's super important for me because I'm just one person. It's really hard for me to remember everything. Hold on. Let me mute these. Yeah, they're playing in Spanish. I don't want to raid them. Not that I have something against Spanish. It's just I don't speak it. So we're gonna go ahead and raid Morab. I think I literally because they're playing something. So yeah, thanks for hanging out again, everyone. GG Wow, I hope I'll see you next week. Desibel, thank you for the host today and for being here. Anyone else who stopped by? Retro, yeah, thanks for being here as well. Otherwise, we're gonna end the stream there, and we'll be back next week with the continuation of the Spear and the Sea in this adventure as we explore the Riptide Cove. Have a good night, everyone.